Taking into consideration Ron Logan and his movements, on the morning of the 13th, we have him at the transfer station right around 11-ish, 12-ish. We have a photo of that. Now, it appears to be some certain kind of objects that he's supposedly disposing of. In my opinion, would match with objects found at the crime scene. Okay, then we have his movements just after 2 o'clock near the bridge. And then we have some more movements from a text. From 11 to, or 8 to 11, something like that. On the 13th. And that was supposedly out by where the crime scene was. Okay, now putting that into perspective, why would Ron Logan be disposing of items previous to when the girls even walked out there? Okay. Now, in my understanding, the crime scene was both sides of the river, up and down, it's larger than the size of a football field. And it was peppered with items all over the place. That's why everything's blurred out so bad, because they were everywhere. You weren't gonna miss it, you know what I'm saying? So, that would have had to have taken a long time to put all that stuff out in the woods, in the trees, in the waters, and stage that whole scene. It would take an incredible amount of time, and I don't think you could pull all that off at dark. There was a lot of physical evidence, a lot of stuff. Well, it was everywhere, hanging off the bridge, you name it. All kinds of stuff. It was like Robert Ives said, it was bizarre. So now, also taking into consideration, there were no pictures of Libby on the 13th. Out there was just the picture of Abby. And again, the background is skewed, very much so. Coupling it with all the other backgrounds regarding Delphi. Obviously, they're hiding stuff, within the photos, the BG video, all of it. The backgrounds are pertinent. It's at the wood. It's how you left them in those woods. They decorated those woods, So I'm just gonna venture to say that it's a real good possibility that those girls already walked into what was already to be staged. Maybe unbeknownst to them as to what the real motive was. Maybe they were, persuaded there, thinking they were going to be a part of something, and ended up not being it. Or, something along those lines, something like that. Or just, kids just being nosy. But nonetheless, I believe a lot of the items that were in the crime scene were pretty much present when, I believe, Abby and Libby arrived. And it's a good possibility that it had been put up there throughout that weekend during the pig roast at the cemetery. So, it would explain a lot of some of the behaviors, or why a lot of people left the woods, the search was called off, and why a lot of people didn't go back into the woods. A lot of the family didn't go back into the woods. So I'm just gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna let you guys think on that one for a minute. Maybe, it'll spark something else. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed.